How we doing today, YouTube? Dski from Dski Grillz back with another cooking video. And today we are doing a Two-Brisket Cook on the Weber Summit Charcoal Grill. I'm looking forward to doing this cook. What I'm going to try out is the Weber expansion rack that I purchased about 2 months ago. Haven't had a chance to use it. I've just been doing cooking on the first layer of the Weber Summit. But now we have the Weber expansion rack that I bought from Amazon that's going to help me elevate and get one more row of cooking. So what I have here is two briskets. They're about 13 pounds a piece that I trimmed up last night and I seasoned for the most part with kosher salt and black pepper. So I let them sit in the refrigerator overnight. I wanted that salt to absorb and build some tenderness into these briskets. So I'll show you these briskets real quick. We have one beauty here and the other one below, right here. So, since these have sat all night, been about 12 hours in the refrigerator, I'm letting them sit out now to get up to room temperature while I go outside and get the fire started. Now, the plan for these briskets is they're going to cook at least 12 to 14 hours. I'm going to hit them before they go on the grill with the Wow Your Cow. This rub I've used on beef ribs. It came out amazing. So with these briskets, I want to give it a shot. But it's called Wow Your Cow, the slabs. So this is what we're going to hit heavy on these briskets. Then we'll go with our regular low and slow on the Weber Summit. Set it in between 225 and 250 degrees. We can monitor this cook throughout the day. It's going to be amazing. I know it. I want to thank you for joining me as always, and let's get cooking. Okay, YouTube, let's season the briskets. So as you can see, we are going to go heavy with the Wow Up Your Cow, the slabs beef rub, on both of these briskets. Now what I'll do, you've seen seasoning before, but I definitely want you to follow me through this entire cook. So I'll play some music right now while we continue to season these briskets up. And after that, we'll get back together and go check out the grill setup. Okay, YouTube, let's check out the grill setup. So I'm going to add some Kingsford charcoal to this grill. We'll be filling this grill up with the charcoal. And then after that, we're going to add pieces of hickory. So we have hickory chunks. This will be a hickory brisket. So I'm adding those in place right now so you can see that. I'm just tucking them up under the charcoal, and I'm going to sporadically place those throughout so the briskets can continue to get infused with that hickory smoke flavor. So that's what we're doing right now. We'll just continue on there, as you can see. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add our wax cubes. So I'm adding those, and then it's just a matter of firing those wax cubes up, letting that grill get up to temperature, and then before you know it, it'll be time to add the diffuser plate and get these beautiful briskets going. So just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for hanging there with me. We'll talk a little bit about the expansion rack next. Okay, YouTube, so I figured we'll talk a little bit again about the expansion rack from Weber. So the size of this rack is 22.5 inches. So you got 22.5 inches this way by 12.2 that way. So I'll open it up. So the idea, of course, is to give you that additional cooking surface when you're doing or feeding larger crowds. I'm gonna need a wire. I'm gonna need a zip tie cutter. So let me go get some scissors real quick and we'll come right back. Okay, so pretty simple. Just the legs come down and we will put them on. Once the grill gets up to temperature, we will put this in place. One of our briskets will cook on here and the other one will be on the main grate. It looks really nice. It's stainless steel. The additional cooking service is going to be something I truly need for today. So I just thought I'd show you this real fast. I'll put a link in the description for this expansion rack if you're looking to get one. Okay, YouTube, we are starting to ash over now. We'll let it go for at least another 5 or 10 minutes before we put our diffuser plate in place. But I want to show you now that, you see we are starting to ash over really just in the middle like you want. So when you're doing these low and slows on the Weber Summit, I always start my fire dead in the middle, so as it ashes over, it goes out this way. It touches all of the other wood and keeps on injecting it with wood flavor throughout the cook. Now also, with the amount of coals in here, I am easily set up for a 14 to 15 to 16 hour cook, no problems at all. So that's the thing, as long as you get it set up correctly, and that's what we're doing right now, your low and slow is a piece of cake. So what I want to show you while we are waiting for the grill to get up to temperature, I want to show you what my setup is going to be. So I'll show you that real quick. So we have the diffuser plate, which we will add in place. We also have our drip pan that we will put in place. I love to add water. And this, of course, is to ensure that you have a moist cooking environment for this low and slow. So we add water. From there, I'm going to add my custom Dski Grillz grate, which I love. Cooked steaks on here last night. It was really good. And here's how the expansion rack will go. So we'll have one brisket right here in the middle, and then the other brisket will go on the expansion rack. So this will be our setup. The other brisket will go right here on the expansion rack. Interesting. It's going to work well. I like it. I mean, you can see there's definitely going to be that additional space. And to close it, let's see what we have. Plenty of room. So that is the setup. Okay, YouTube, let's get cooking. So what we're going to do now is add our first brisket. And if you remember, we're going to put that right on the main grate. So that's what we're doing. We're going to put this on the main grate, and then we will get our expansion rack in place and add our second brisket. So this is going to be great. This briskets have been sitting on the cutting board getting up to temperature. You know, we had those babies seasoned really good with the Wow Up Your Cow. And now here's the expansion rack being added. There's brisket number 2. And from there, we're going to go ahead and get that grill closed up. Now, we're going to go at least about 5 hours before we check back in, but I wanted to show you this. Now look at how you can get this extra room out of the Weber Summit just by going up. The dome shape gives you the extra square footage. 2 briskets are cooking. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, YouTube, I thought I would show you where we're at now. As you can see, the temperature's holding it right at around 260. And the dial itself, as far as the thermometer goes, is pretty accurate. I want to say that's about 260. Dead on maybe. And look at my thermometer. It is reading, if this thing would show right. Let's see if I can get this to show you. There we go. It's reading 262, so pretty accurate. Now we can see how our brisket's doing. Now we are about 5 hours into this cook. I want the internal temperature to get up to about 165 before we take these briskets out and get them wrapped. Then they'll go right back to the grill until we get an internal temperature of about 201 to 203 degrees is what I like to shoot for brisket. So let me show you how this is coming. They are looking nice. Coming along good. Not a whole lot of drawback, so everything is cooking really, really well. They look really good. The bark is coming along really good. So I want to show you that. Tenderness, you can tell it's there. It's getting there at least. Yeah, that's good. So we're going to let this go a little bit longer. I'm going to come check the internal temp in a minute and see where we're at on that. And again, I'll get it wrapped once we reach 165. Thanks for hanging in with the cook, and I'll get back with you when it's time to wrap these briskets. Okay, YouTube, it's time to wrap. So we reached the 165 degrees, and now we're back at the cutting board. And what I'm going to do is wrap both of these briskets in foil, and then back to the grill they go until we reach the internal temperature of between 201 and 203 degrees. So I'll speed this process up, put a few tunes on, and let you see me wrapping up these briskets. Next thing you'll see is us taking them back out to the Weber Summit charcoal grill and letting them go until they reach that desired temperature. After that, we'll come back in, we'll put it in a cooler, we'll let it sit there for a few hours, then we're at the cutting board checking out the final product. Hey, thanks for joining me. Let's check out some tunes together while we wrap these briskets. Okay, YouTube, back to the grill. So we just finished wrapping both of these briskets. Now we're going to put them back on the grill so they can continue cooking until we reach that internal temperature of between 201 and 203 degrees. So that's what you see me doing there. Now, I'm believing that it's going to take anywhere from 5 to 6 more hours to get where we need to be. But you know what we'll do? We'll check back in with you guys and I'll show you where we're at that time. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, YouTube, 6 hours later. So what I want to show you is look at the temperature gauge. 11 hours and we are still at 250 degrees. That is thumbs up worthy. So what I'm doing now is we're going to go ahead and pull these briskets because they have reached that internal temperature of 201 degrees. So I'm going to pull them. We're going to take them on the inside and it'll be time to do the wrap and rest. So wrapping and resting, of course, is just putting it in a towel. And then after that, we put it in a cooler and let it sit there for a few more hours. From there, we'll go to the cutting board. Okay, I'll see you inside to show you the wrap and rest process. Okay, YouTube, time to wrap and rest. So what we're doing is wrapping both briskets in a large bath towel. Then we're going to take it to the cooler. So once we get it to the cooler, we'll let it sit out there for at least 2 hours. And then as always, I'll take it to the cutting board. See you in a bit. Okay, YouTube, let's check out the final product of our Two-Brisket Cook. This cook was awesome. It went well. Total time of about 14 hours. So as you can see, I just removed the towel. Now we're going to open up brisket number 1. So look at the beautiful bark. This brisket is going to be great. So I'm sliding it off now on the cutting board and then we'll start cutting this one up. So I plan on cutting the first one and then I'll just show you the second one. So that's what we're doing now. This brisket is very, very tender. The cook was very, very easy. You guys think about what we did. I mean, it wasn't a hard job at all. We had the Weber Summit charcoal grill to do most of the work. The expansion rack is also a great addition. So when you're doing these larger cooks, I mean, so now we can feed a boatload of people with these 2 briskets. We're talking over 26 pounds of beef goodness. So that's brisket number 1 cut up. And then what I'll do now is just show you brisket number 2. So same thing, taking it out of the foil, and then again, beautiful bark, another awesome brisket. So if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to my channel. Let others know what Dski Grillz is up to. I want to thank you for joining me, and as always, at Dski Grillz, grilling is not a pastime, it's a passion. You enjoy the rest of your day, YouTube. Thanks again for joining me. Try this cookout. It will come out amazing. The Wow Up Your Cow is an amazing rub as well. You take care, YouTube. There's a big thumbs up. Later.